As a part of our first requirement, it talks about all the service request records should not be visible to everyone. Whoever creates that service request should be able to see those records is the first requirement. Now, in order to achieve this requirement, we'll be taking a concept that we have in our record level security, that is nothing but our OWD. OWD is a shorter form for our organization wide default, or it can also be called as org wide default. OWD or org wide default or organization wide default are all one and the same. Now, let's look at the definition of OWD. What exactly this OWD will help us with? Establish the base level of access that a most restricted user should have. In our setup, we have a couple of users in the org. Now, as soon as they enter into the org, what is the level of access that they need to have on this particular object? We wanted to restrict, or we want to set up the base level of access for the object called service request, right? So we'll see how we can set up this OWD in the next slide. As of now, keep that in mind. We are just talking about a service request records here. Now, what exactly this OWD will help us? It helps us with the base level of access for that particular object by understanding what is the level of access that we need to give for a most restricted user. Now, use the OWD to lock down your data and then use the other record level security to open up the data for the users who needs it. This is an important point that you need to keep in mind, which talks about OW is the base level of access. So make sure that you're not giving up too much of information or the data or the records to the users who doesn't need them. So if you lock down that record here, let's say if you have locked down the data with the use of the OWD, how can other persons who have the actual need to look at that record would proceed? So that is where the second part of the definition or the second part of the line talks about use the other levels of record level security that we have to open up the data to the users. So what exactly the other levels of record level security that we have is something that we'll be looking at in our next coming slides. So as of now, use OWD as a base level of access. Now, what are the options that we have in order to set our OWD? So if I have to set the OWD, it could be one of these options. The first option talks about private. When we set the OWD as private for a particular object, remember we are talking about only the service request that we have selected. So if I set the OWD for a particular object as private, what it has to offer is it only allows the record owners and the users above the role hierarchy can view, edit, and report on those records. As of now, we do not know what exactly this roles and the hierarchy is. For now, keep this point aside. Let's understand the basic thing first, and then we'll look at how this role is coming into the picture. So if I reread this definition again, it talks about only the record owners can view, edit, and report on these records. So that means if I set the OWD of an object as private, only the record owners can view, edit, and report on this. Now, if I set the object OWD as public read only, what it does is it allows all the users, as the name suggests, public read only. Public can read this records only. So if you read this, what exactly it has to offer, if I set the OWD as public read only, as the name suggests, public can read this information only, or public can read the record information only. So what it has to offer, all the users can view and report on these records, but only the owner and the people above in the role hierarchy can edit them. As we discussed, we do not know what exactly is the role hierarchy as of now. I'm parking this point aside. If I read this definition again, it says all the users can view and report on these records. That is fine, but only the owner can edit those records that he has with him. What if I have to set the OWD as public read write? If I set it as public read write, by now you might have guessed it right. Public can read this information as well as write that information, right? So all the users can view, edit, and report on those records. So that is your public read write. Last but not the least, we have controlled by parent. So this comes into picture when there are two objects which are connected via master detail relationship. The child object is always controlled by the parent. In such scenarios, you cannot basically define the OWD for the child. So control by parent basically comes into picture when the objects are connected by a master detail relationship. So if you have a parent and child relationship, child would have this OWD setting as control by parent. So whatever that is there on the parent, the same thing applies for the child as well. So now we have understanding of what exactly the OWD is. Let's do the process of identifying whether that OWD for our service request object is private, or whether it should be public read only, or it should be public read write. So let's understand this process. In order to understand this process, Salesforce has given us this couple of questions. If you can go through all these questions and answer them, that is where you will be able to come up with the OWD that you have to set for an object. So remember, this process has to repeat for each and every object. So that is why I have a kind of a template for you in case if you have to do this exercise. Create a template in your Excel sheet with the column as object, and the second column as most restricted user / profile, and the third column that we have is OWD. So what I would do, I will list down all the objects that I have in my org. I'll pick one object, go through this entire process, and come up with a value in the OWD. It could be private, it could be public read only, or it could be public read write, depending on the answers that I would get from this flow. Right. So once you have done this exercise, configuring your OWD hardly takes few clicks to get it done. In order to get to know the OWD for each and every object, we have to go through these questions and come up with an answer so that we can finally conclude on what would be the OWD for that object. So let's do that activity. First, we need to select the object that we wanted to decide the OWD for. So remember, if we are talking about record level security, records basically belong to an object. So that is why we are selecting the object first here. So the object that I've selected for this discussion is our service request, so that we can go through this requirement and understand how we can set the OWD for this object. And this process applies for the other objects as well. So let's see that process. The object that we have created here is the service request object that we have seen the setup and the users that we have in the org. We'll take that as a reference and we'll proceed forward. Now, so we have selected the object, we have noted down in our Excel sheet. Now, what is the first question that we have to answer here is, who is the most restricted user of this object? Now, in order for our convenience, you can always replace this user with a profile, because as we discussed, whatever a user will do depends on the profile configuration, right? So you can replace profile with a user. It is an interchangeable word in this context. If I read this question again, it says, who is the most restricted profile for this particular object? How can we decide a restricted profile? By asking the functionality or the requirement to our clients or to the business analyst. They will be the people who will be helping out with that. So now if I understood the functionality, there are a couple of scenarios that they have given us. So let's go through them and understand who is the restricted user. Now, so I'll note down all the list of profiles that we have discussed, and then we'll identify who is the most restricted user here. So we have discussed the technician as a profile. We have discussed finance as a profile. We have discussed training, admin as a profile. And last but not least, we have talked about system administrator as a profile. Now, how can you identify the restricted user? By thinking through the scenarios that a user can, right? So let's start with the system administrator. System administrator is a profile which has access to all the records. So he or she who is being tagged under this profile, or a user who is tagged under this profile called system administrator, can never be a restricted user, right? So system administrator has all the access to all the records in the system. So system administrator in this context can never be a restricted user. So let's look at the technician as a profile. If I look at a technician as a profile, so he or she would be the people who will be attending the service request. So if user has any request that is coming in from their end, let's say if they are raising a concern to do a kind of a service for an AC or a washing machine, so it is a request that the technician would usually attend. So in this context, this technician as a profile and the user who is connected to it is a person who will be revisiting this object quite often. So their activities would be mostly based on the service request that comes in from the user. So from this scenario, we can say that this technician is not a restricted user for this particular object. So if you see, what I'm trying to do here is I'm identifying the people who are less using this object, right? So that way we are identifying the restricted user here. So let's see what exactly we have for the finance. If you remember the scenario 3, it talks about, even though the technicians are the people who are visiting the customer location and looking at the service requests that they have, and the finance team are the people who will be looking at the records that are being created by them. So in order to track the finances, these are the people who will be looking at these records also. So from this, I can say that finance profile users are also not the restricted users for this particular object. Today or tomorrow, these are the people who will be looking at the service request worked by the technicians. Now, last but not the least, we have this training admin. So like I've said, this ABC company organized the training. So the training admin is a profile under which we have users who will be taking care of this training programs that they conduct. So these people, or this list of people or bunch of people, they do not have any scenario where in which they'll be requesting or they'll be looking at the service request. So they are like very less or none situation where in which this training admin would be looking at the service request. I would say 0 or none as a requirement where in which this training admin would look at the records that are there in the service request object. So just by doing this exercise, we have came to a conclusion that yes, there is a person or a profile where in which we can point out saying that this is the most restricted user for this particular object. This person has nothing to do with this object, or there might be few things that he or she might do on that particular object. Identify that person depending on the other functionalities / the scenarios that you have. Once you identify the restricted user, what you need to do is go ahead and update your Excel sheet. For this object, in this scenario that we have discussed, training admin is a restricted user. I've got my sheet updated. So what we have done, we have identified the most restricted user. Our first step is done. So now we have object, we have our most restricted user as training admin. Now, let's move on to the second step. What it talks about is there ever going to be an instance of this object that this user should not be allowed to see? Now the question is, as this user is been identified as the most restricted user, the second question is there ever going to be a scenario where this user should not be able to see any records on that particular object? If the answer to that question is yes, put that OWD as private. You can see the same set of questions on the flow chart as well on my right hand side. I'll quickly update the information. The object that we have selected is service request, and the restricted user that we have selected as part of our discussion is the training admin. Now the second question here is there ever going to be an instance for this object that this user should not be able to see? So this question is talking about, is there any such scenario where in which this user should not be seeing the records on this object? If the answer to that question is yes, put the OWD of that particular object as private. So if that is what you want, you have your answer. The OWD for this particular object should be private. If you have reached to an answer, you can write it down in your Excel sheet. Now let's say if the answer to that question is no. We have another set of questions that we need to answer. Is there ever going to be an instance of this object that this user should not be able to edit it? If the answer to that question is yes, that is where you will set the OWD as public read-only, because he or she should not be able to edit it. The most restricted user should not be able to edit that record. If that is the case, you would set it as public read-only, right? If you see here, we are asking the people to read that information but not edit it. If the answer to that question is no, yes, there is a scenario where in which this user has to edit it, then the answer is public read-only. So this way you can set your OWD, right? So identify the restricted user, object identification, object for which you want to decide the OWD. Second, identify the restricted user. Third, go through this flow chart and come up with your OWD. It's a 3-step process wherein which you will be able to identify your OWD setting for that particular object. So once that is object OWD is set, you can go on with the next object. For our requirement that we have, let's see what should be the OWD for our service request. So the object that we have selected is service request. The restricted user that we have is training admin. So this training admin, is there ever going to be a scenario or an instance of this object that this user should not be able to see? So if you remember the first requirement that we have, it talks about only the user should be able to see that records, no other user should be able to see the other people's record. So if you see this most restricted user should not be able to see those records as per our requirement. So I'll be setting it as private. So the answer to this question is yes. The OWD for this object has been set as private. So I have my most restricted user as training admin and the OWD that I've finally concluded as private. Right? So once that is done, you will move on to the next object. Let's say if you have an account as a next object, you will proceed with that. Identify the most restricted user, set the OWD for it from this flowchart. So now if you see, this is how you can come up with your sheet with all the list of OWD that you have to set, different objects that you have in the org. So let's see this OWD when it is set to private, how it behaves with the help of this table. So the OWD is set for service request object and it is set to private. So this OWD basically talks about the base level of access that we can set in our organization. So let's see that with an example here. I've taken few records here just to help us understand with this information, right? So we have the list of users on this first column. We have the OWD setting. If it is set to private, how it behaves is something that we'll discuss. Right? It is set to private for service request object. Now, technician Jack basically owns 2 records. That means he has created these 2 records. That means the owner of these 2 records is technician Jack. So the number of records that he can see as of now is 2 records because he is the owner of that record. Right? So if there is only OWD configuration set to private for that particular object, the number of records a user can see depends on how many records that they own. Same is the case with technician Sam. He owns 2 records here. So the number of records he can see is 2 because he is the owner of those records. Now we have tech manager. Tech manager also has an option of creating those records. So if you remember the object level security, as a profile, we have given the access to create the service request records. So the number of records that the technician manager actually owns right now is 1. 2 records are being owned by Jack, 2 records are owned by Sam, and 1 record is being owned by manager. The number of records that are owned by the finance analyst as of now is 0 because he is not having the access to create those records. So that is why he is not having any records here. The number of records that he sees is 0. In order to understand what is happening with this SFDC admin, as an administrator, I'll create 1 record and see how it basically impacts the number of records that are being visible to the other users in this scenario. Right? So as a system administrator, we have view all and modify all access. So that means any records that are being created in this particular org would be visible to the system administrator user. So 1 record is being owned by him and 5 records are coming in from 2 records from Jack, 2 records from Sam, 1 record from manager. The total number of records that are visible to the SFDC admin user would be 6 because he has this view all and modify all access. Why system administrator would have all the access to the records is whenever there is a need for correcting the data or whenever there is a need for some kind of a data changes or manipulations that needs to be happen, system administrator is a person who takes care of the system, or he basically monitors the system and makes sure that it is running fine. So he should be pitching in whenever it is needed. So that is why we have access given to the system administrator here. As part of this example, this system administrator would be able to see the 6 records here.